An AEW star's contract runs out this year, and WWE is said to be interested. Plus, we're going to talk about Vince McMahon being banned from the WWE and what this means. And also, we are going to discuss a new WWE announcement. It's all coming up right here on The Ango Show. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we are giving away a WWE World Heavyweight Championship replica belt at 100,000 subscribers. But now we got to talk about this new championship, which is the WWE's official licensed 2024 Stanley Cup Championship Legacy title belt. Now, this officially licensed belt was revealed today by the WWE in a new press release. And this product is now available for purchase at NHLshop.com, as well as WWEshop.com and Fanatics. Now, obviously, this is a pretty big deal because last year, WrestleVotes put out some information that WWE and the NHL were in talks. And now, finally, a year later, it's official. Now, of course, the reason why this is a good thing for a business perspective is because WWE now has a deal with the NHL alongside the NBA and the NFL and the MLB. And at this point, WWE wants their brand absolutely everywhere. Whether or not you agree with it, whether or not you like it, it doesn't really matter. WWE wants to be front and center in all of the sports and entertainment world, and their partnership with Fanatics allows them to do this. Now, keep in mind, Fanatics has been working with the UFC and WWE. Fanatics has been a very integral part in WWE doing the WWE World Convention during WrestleMania week. But now Fanatics takes WWE merchandise to the next level. And it's interesting because I do remember making that video talking about their partnership. And just to see how far they've come in such a short period of time, it's actually quite impressive. I think this is a cool thing. I think anytime you're seeing wrestling get involved in other areas of the world, it only helps professional wrestling. I think one of the biggest arguments that could be made was when I saw Patrick Mahomes with a WWE championship belt, right? Like that visual, that image, that video that surfaces online with one of the greatest NFL players in the league right now holding a WWE belt, it is a very good sign for WWE. And now you got to take that and apply it to hockey. So in professional hockey, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, it's obviously a very big deal in America. And WWE, once again, wants their footprint pretty much everywhere. It makes sense from a business perspective. I can see other wrestling companies follow. I know just last week, Tony Khan had AEW World Championship belts sent to the people of the Inside the NBA crew for TNT, and that was really cool. And I like seeing that. I like seeing that type of crossover in the other realm of entertainment, because it's one thing for WWE to be known in professional wrestling. It's another for a professional wrestling company like WWE or AEW to cross over into other mainstream sports. With that being said, let's turn our attention to Vince McMahon. I thought this was quite interesting. Definitely not shocking, but it is definitely interesting considering just all of the stuff that is being said about Vince McMahon. So for those who don't know, Vince McMahon is, I don't know how nobody knows this, but Vince McMahon is currently in a very, very big lawsuit. Now, on a recent episode of the Insiders podcast with Conrad Thompson, he spoke with Tom Carlucci, who is somebody that worked with Vince McMahon since 1987. This guy did a lot of things in the WWE. Probably one of Vince McMahon's most loyal employees. Obviously, most people probably don't know who he is, but he's one of Vince's right-hand men. Let's talk a little bit about this. So he was talking about this on the podcast about Vince McMahon and more specifically the headquarters. If you guys haven't seen the WWE headquarters, it is honestly incredible to look at. Just the videos, everything, the whole facility just seems to be absolutely incredible. And Carlucci was talking about this. He was talking about Vince McMahon being banned from the building. He cannot go to the building at all. Vince McMahon and his trainer built out this incredible gym inside the headquarters. Vince McMahon has zero access to it. And it was really just created for Vince McMahon specifically. And Vince McMahon has zero access to this. He can't step foot basically, Carlucci goes to say that you will never see Vince McMahon there again. And it's interesting because I feel like with Vince McMahon's situation, obviously these allegations are very strong. They're very, very disgusting. They're very, I can't tell you guys how much I hate seeing the things that have been alleged, right? But they are allegations, and that's why there is a court system, and that's why there's a process, and that's why the feds are looking into this type of thing. With that being said, it's interesting to me to see how Vince McMahon built a very big legacy in professional wrestling. Whether we like it or not, he innovated a lot of things in professional wrestling, and truly, that stuff has crossed over into the mainstream streaming and all that stuff, right? He did a lot for the business. I think we can all agree that Vince McMahon's booking is not good in his later years, but I think it's interesting to see that this man threw it away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy literally threw everything away. And this thing that he essentially created to become such a massive, massive empire, it's literally all crashing down. So Vince McMahon being banned from the WWE is not shocking. TKO not wanting any involvement from Vince McMahon, it's not shocking. But it's interesting to see how things transpired, right? Selling the company, going to Endeavor. And a lot of people were like, hey, man, he's going to sell it to Endeavor, and they're going to do this thing where basically, he's going to be put back into power. And it just all happened so fast. Like, it's almost like the plan just simply didn't work. I can't say this enough. Those allegations are absolutely disgusting. WWE is far greater without Vince McMahon. And I look forward to seeing what TKO continues to do because they're doing a great job. Penta could be leaving AEW. This is actually a really interesting story for a variety of reasons. Obviously, we don't know if he will in fact leave. But Lucha Libre Online came out with a very interesting post. They said that Pentagon Jr.'s contract with AEW is scheduled to expire between August and September. He is scheduled to become a free agent, and there is interest on the part of WWE in his services. Look, this is really crazy. So I was reading the tweet. The tweet on Twitter, by the way, is in Spanish. So my translation of it comes literally directly from Twitter. But two things. I don't think it is unreasonable to think that Penta will leave AEW. I love Death Triangle. I think Penta has done a great job in AEW as a performer. I don't know if I could say the same thing from the AEW booking perspective. Now, I know I have quite a few viewers who have heard me speak on this. I loved when Penta was a singles star in TNA. As TNA World Champion, it was truly wonderful to watch. I always kind of wondered why AEW hasn't even attempted to do the same thing in their company. Now, with that being said, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If WWE is interested and WWE picks him up, I will have a lot to say if WWE doesn't utilize him properly. This is a talent that could be a singles champion. This is a guy that could be a world champion. I know this because I have seen it. I've witnessed it on television. And I just want to make it clear. WWE has a lot of potential matchups for this guy. The one that I want to see the most is Gunther. Gunther versus Penta is an amazing matchup that I would love to see. But at the same time, too, the grass isn't always greener. I am not going to sit here and fantasy book Penta going to WWE. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most amazing idea. But there will be a lot of pressure on WWE if they bring him in and they don't deliver something great with him. I also want to point out, because it is important to mention this, free agency doesn't necessarily mean he's 100% gone out of AEW. His contract could expire, and if it does, AEW could still sign him. We'll see how it all goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Do you think Penta leaves AEW? This is going to be interesting, and we will be paying attention.